Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all ladies and a couple of gentlemen even. I must say I didn't expect this vibrance and this buzz when I accepted the honor to be here. We're still waiting for two commissioners, and so we're throwing the program around a bit, and we'll start with an address by Livia Firth. That's a video address. She's the chair of Circle, which promotes sustainable development, women empowerment, and she's most famous recently for an eco-label on textile, which excludes child labor. So let's first hear what Livia Firth has to tell us.
Thank you to the European Women Alliance for asking me to be part of the Women European Council. I'm really sorry that I can't be with you today, but I look forward to working together to ensure gender equality sits at the top of the priorities of the European Union political agenda. I know that together we can take concrete actions to close gender gap through direct public policies. I know we all share together the belief that we will never achieve sustainable development without women empowerment, and gender equality is fundamental to this. And it's exciting, in fact, that one of the first tasks of the Women European Council is the creation of this toolbox to be used when designing, implementing and assessing EU policies and programs. Something that is very welcome and absolutely necessary because we have all been talking for far too long about these issues. And concrete action now is our best friend. We need to work on things such as women institutional and political representation in the European Union, ensuring that EU trade and investment agreements include a specific chapter on trade and gender equality and women empowerment. We need to work on gender pay gap, on gender perspective in migration flows, and so on. So, enough with talking, let's get into action and make it happen. You know what happens when women all get together. I look forward to meeting you all and be with you at the next session. Bye.
As I said, I'm absolutely delighted to be here, not just to be here with some illustrious and powerful women, but also to feel the buzz and excitement that is in this room. It's almost tangible. Mary Wollstonecraft sat already in 1792 in her groundbreaking breaking book, A Vindication of the Rights of Woman, that virtue can only flourish among equals. But it's amazing that 226 years later, we still need this, apart from the excitement, which is good, but we still need it. And this initiative that is being launched today is sorely needed. It's the reason why the Parliament's Vice President and welcome Commissioner Bulc and two others, but only one other could be present, Commissioner Gabriel, they want to kickstart a new avenue towards change, a change that is to address the very centre of power in the EU, a very male-dominated centre of power, if I may say so. And therefore, I give you the Women's European Council. Today is its first meeting. It intends to meet more regularly for now twice a year ahead of every European summit, and to tell the leaders, the usually male leaders of the EU member states, what there are in alternative visions and proposals for actions to build a fairer Europe, not just for women, but for all, but particularly for women. On that note, I would like to ask the first Vice President, Ms. Merit McGuinness, to start the discussion and say what she has to say about this.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. There's a lot of heat in this room, I have to say, which means there's a lot of people in the room. And that's the first thing I want to say, a big thank you, because this is a first. And sometimes at inaugural events, people are reluctant because they're not quite sure of what this is all about. I think the presence of our commissioners and my colleagues from the European Parliament, but especially the staff of Parliament and the other institutions who took time to be here, speaks absolute volumes that this issue is hugely important. So thank you for being here, particularly those who have to stand. So I'll try and be brief. And if you feel weak, please get a seat from someone. I was just going to pick up on a comment made by our moderator about being in a room full of powerful women. In my view, all women are powerful, but in different ways. My late mother was extremely powerful. She was denied the opportunity of an education that she would have used so well, so she channeled that power into her 8 children and insisted on equality, first of all, between the 5 girls and 3 boys, and opportunity also. And I hope that she is proud of what she achieved. Not for me, but for my other siblings, because sometimes, and I think a warning to us, those who are in position presume that you've made it, and perhaps we don't reflect on the realities of the lives of the majority of women who are not visible, but who do incredibly important work. And we have to be very mindful of that, and that sometimes those of us who are away from home a lot rely on the support of other women and men to make sure that we can do the work that we do. My background is journalism. A long, long time ago I started out, 1980 to be precise. You'll all be able to add up the dates and come to my age. When I was 17, I really believed that, this was in the 70s, that equality was discussed and fought about, and I presumed within 10 years it would be irrelevant as an issue. And I closed my eyes, and I've opened them now in 2018. And actually, it is a bigger issue now than in the 70s, because we thought we'd got there, but we haven't. I worked in journalism, mainly in agriculture. When I went into rooms and conferences, I did not see women. That was in the 80s. I'm afraid today little has changed when I come to that issue of agriculture in particular. And it's not that women are not present, it's just that they're not visible. So, for example, in Ireland, we have had a unique happening of women coming together in small groups, talking about their issues and having an impact. And I hope that they're watching this initiative, because I think there's a movement happening across Europe in a small way, and this perhaps development today is part of that movement, where men and women are saying, you know, on that agenda of equality and societal issues, we need to revisit. And we need to revisit it at every level and in every single way. So I'm glad that you've opened my eyes by inviting me to be part of this very important initiative. I've also had to put time aside, because when you are busy doing other important things, we neglect this issue. And therefore, I'm going to make time for this particular issue. But I'm going to make time because I think it's important to the women, and I dare say men, who clean in this house, or the women who care for children or the elderly, and that I hope that this initiative is an inclusive one, that it's about the position in society of women at all levels, because it impacts on men and women. And I think men want this debate too. So I think that's absolutely crucial that we have it. One other interesting experience I had last week, I appeared on a BBC programme, Question Time. And the audience was more men than women, but the panel contained one woman, and she wasn't shy. And I called it out on the programme. And maybe we need to do that a little bit more, because just do an exercise for yourself today when you're reading, probably online rather than a traditional newspaper, or you're watching television. And do 2 things. Look at the balance of those who contribute to debates and those who present the programmes, and look at the age of the women who present the programmes. And guess what? I mean, they're all incredibly young, which is fantastic because we need youth, and they're obviously beautiful because all women are. But at a certain point, for some reason, guess what? There's an age cut-off for women for which there is not for men. And that doesn't happen by accident or, in fact, design. It happens because it's a cultural thing. And I dare say that when you watch television, I'm guilty about this, so I can put my 2 hands up, and men and women are talking, and you kind of say, God, that's a strange colour of a dress that she's wearing. Now, my green dress is because we're celebrating St. Patrick's Day later, so I have an excuse. Thank you all very much. But we're all guilty. Whereas when a gentleman, and Mr. Papadimoulis, who's a great champion of this cause and who's celebrating his birthday today, so happy birthday. We don't comment as much. Now, I don't think we're going to change our ways, but I think if we're conscious of what we're doing, we might just think it through a little bit more. And around recent events and Facebook and big issues of political whatever, look at Facebook and look how women portray themselves, or young women allow themselves to be portrayed on Facebook. And think about, are we going back to a past rather than evolving to a better future? So I'm very energised by this occasion because of the numbers and because I feel that there is something happening. There is an awakening, actually. That's what it is. But it must be an inclusive awakening. Not every woman wants to be Vice President of the European Parliament. I'm sure my own daughters have no intention. They will be teachers or whatever. And we also must remember that many women want to be mothers and want to be at home with their children. And we should respect that and not regard that as a lesser choice, because it is a really, really important choice. And remember, I started by mentioning my late mother, who was a very powerful woman and who achieved many things despite the fact that education and other things were denied to her. And she had an extremely supportive partner, her husband, in my father, who was, there's always the quiet one and then the not so quiet one. But they treated each other with great respect and equality. And they didn't see difference. And I yearn for that in all of our workings. And I yearn to see a greater presence of women at every level in society, whether it's in parliaments or councils or sports clubs and voluntary groups. And indeed at that level there are, and many women are represented. But if we've failed since the 70s, it really means that we did things incorrectly, or we didn't do the right things. We need to question ourselves about what failed and what we need to do differently. But I hope that today is providing leadership. And I think that those of us who've had the opportunity to be in these positions now have to give back and encourage others to take on for whenever we are not here, so that the world is a better place, because we are better together, men and women. Europe is better together. So this is a really, really important agenda which could have phenomenal results. So thank you for being here, and I'm so happy and so proud to be part of it. Thank you.
I think we all are, actually. Ms. Gebhardt, who is Vice President and a member of the High-Level Group for Gender Equality and Women's Equality.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I want to apologize for those who are standing, but I want to speak in German because it is easier for me to do so. I think it is necessary to be very clear in these things, and my English is not as good as I want it is for those discussions. Ich freue mich sehr, als ich diese Idee von EWA aufgenommen habe und gesagt habe, ja, das ist eine gute Idee, habe ich mich auch sehr gefreut, dass sowohl Meret wie auch Heide sofort auch zugesagt haben, gesagt, ja, als 3 Vizepräsidentinnen des Europäischen Parlaments wollen wir gemeinsam die Sache der Frauen voranbringen. Und ich freue mich sehr, Frau Gabriel, Kommissarin Gabriel ist inzwischen auch eingetroffen, dass auch die Frauen der Europäischen Kommission eigentlich alle gesagt haben, ja, wir würden gerne alle kommen. Allerdings, Frau Malmström hatte zugesagt, aber ist jetzt in den USA. Wir wissen warum, kann deswegen heute nicht da sein, hat aber auch darum gebeten, dass wir sie entschuldigen, weil sie natürlich auch gerne da gewesen wäre. Wir haben natürlich auch die Ratspräsidentin eingeladen. Und sie hat uns auch einen schönen langen Brief geschrieben. Sie wäre sehr gerne dabei gewesen, aber sie muss zu Hause eine wichtige Sitzung leiten und muss auch ihre Arbeit machen, das ist auch klar. Wir haben auch natürlich Herrn Jean-Claude Juncker eingeladen. Der hat uns einen kurzen Entschuldigungsbrief geschrieben, dass er leider nicht kommen kann. Und wir warten noch auf unseren Präsidenten des Europäischen Parlaments, denn es ist ja wichtig, dass wir nicht nur als Frauen, sondern auch unsere Männer auch hier anwesend sind und hören, was wir zu sagen haben, auch wenn wir das noch einmal schriftlich machen in unseren Erläuterungen. Aber es ist gut, wenn die Herren auch bei den Diskussionen dabei sind. Als 1889, als in der französischen Revolution die Convention des droits de l'homme gemacht wurde, war das ein enormer Fortschritt für die Gesellschaft, weil alle Männer das Wahlrecht erhalten haben. Das war ein großer Fortschritt. Und da gab es eine Frau namens Olympe de Gouges, die gesagt hat, ja, aber die Menschen sind nicht nur die Männer, wir Frauen sind auch da. Und solchen Frauen, die dafür unter die Guillotine gekommen ist, weil sie für die Rechte der Frau eingetreten ist, solchen Frauen haben wir es zu verdanken, dass wir Fortschritte gemacht haben. Und wenn wir sehen, was damals war und heute, könnten wir natürlich sagen, ja, wir sind zufrieden. Wir sind alle 3 Vizepräsidentinnen, wir haben Kommissarinnen hier. Aber wenn wir uns das Gesamtbild anschauen, wenn wir den Gipfel, das Bild uns anschauen, das sind ein paar zersprenkelte Farben, das sind die Frauen, aber eigentlich sehr viel dunkel, das sind alles Männer. Und der Präsident des Parlaments ist ein Mann, der Präsident der Europäischen Kommission ist ein Mann, der Präsident des Rates ist ein Mann. Also wir sehen, wir haben noch einiges zu tun, damit die Frauen auch wirklich an die Stellung kommen, dass sie eben nicht nur Vizepräsidentinnen sind, sondern auch irgendwann mal Präsidentinnen werden. Das ist eines der Ziele, die wir haben. Nicht, weil wir die Männer nicht mögen, auch nicht, weil wir sie für inkompetent halten würden, sondern weil wir genauso kompetent sind wie die Männer und dieses auch wichtig ist. Auch aus meinem Leben heraus, und da habe ich wie Meret die gleichen Erfahrungen gemacht. Ich habe immer wieder die Erfahrung gemacht, wir als Frauen müssen mindestens 2-mal so gut wie die Männer sein, um das Gleiche zu erreichen. Und ich kann mich noch an eine Situation erinnern, das ist schon etwas 30 Jahre her, so langsam kriegt ihr auch so eine Ahnung, wie alt ich bin, war ich in einer Veranstaltung, da waren sehr, sehr viele Männer und 2 oder 3 Frauen. Und ich habe meinen ganzen Mut aufgenommen, habe mich zu Wort gemeldet und habe gesagt, so, ich habe auch etwas zu sagen. Ich habe das Wort erhalten und dann wurde es laut in dem Saal. Und keiner hat mir zugehört. Keiner hat mir zugehört. Obwohl ich etwas ganz Wichtiges zu sagen hatte. Ein paar Wortmeldungen später hat ein Mann genau das Gleiche gesagt, das ich gesagt habe, und einen riesen Applaus dafür gekriegt. Ich weiß nicht, ob er seine Idee hat oder ob er es schon hatte oder ob er bei mir gestohlen hat. Aber das waren solche Momente, wo ich gesagt habe, das darf eigentlich nicht sein. Das darf eigentlich nicht sein. Und wir wollen, dass wir Frauen genauso wahrgenommen werden, wie wir sind, mit allen unseren Möglichkeiten, die wir auch einbringen in die Gesellschaft. Das ist das, was wir wollen. Wir wollen diese Genderpolitik, in der wir dafür sorgen, dass auch wirklich alles, auch was wir machen in der Politik, auch noch einmal abgeprüft wird, welche Konsequenzen hat es für das Leben des Mannes, welche Konsequenzen für das Leben der Frau. Und auch da eine kleine Anekdote über meine Arbeit. Als ich ganz neu im Parlament war, war ich im Rechtsausschuss. Junge Frau, die nicht Juristin war, die jüngste, und oh je, das war schlimm. Ich durfte allerdings einen Bericht machen, da ging es damals um die Kriterien für die höheren Beamtenschaft. Und das waren, wie die Kommission uns gesagt hat, alles ganz klar objektive Kriterien. 3 Kriterien. Das eine, es muss ein abgeschlossenes Studium sein. Das ist in Ordnung. Das zweite ist, man sollte etwas Berufserfahrung haben. Ist auch in Ordnung. Das dritte war, man darf nicht älter als 35 Jahre alt sein. Das ist natürlich auch ein objektives Kriterium. Aber wenn man die 3 zusammennimmt, dann wissen wir, die Männer sind alle soweit mit 35. Viele Frauen, die vielleicht ein Kind gehabt haben oder auch 2, haben eben dieses erreicht erst, wenn sie 35,5, 36 sind. Und das ist eben genau das, was wir in der Gesetzgebung auch immer wieder nachprüfen müssen. Was ist die Konsequenz unseres Tuns? Nicht nur auf die Gesellschaft insgesamt, sondern auf die Männer auf der einen Seite, auf die Frauen auf der anderen Seite. Und deswegen brauchen wir mehr Frauen an der Macht, damit auch diese Gesichtspunkte auch mit hineinkommen und wir auch vorangehen können. Und deswegen freue ich mich, dass so viele Menschen hier gekommen sind, um mit uns diesen ersten Gipfel der Frauen zu feiern. Und wir werden auch, und es ist auch eine große Ermunterung, das auch weiterzumachen, auch weiterhin die überwiegend männlichen Gipfel begleiten als Frauengipfel, um eben genau das zu erreichen, was wir uns vorgenommen, nämlich dass wir alle gleichgestellt sind. Dankeschön.
Thank you, Ms. Gebhardt. For me, at least, some of your anecdotes were totally recognizable. Heidi Hautala, also Vice President and member of the High-Level Group for Gender Equality and Diversity.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we are all energized by the sentiment and the feeling in the room that it's time that women working in the EU, with the EU, are coming together. And I must say that the past half a year has been, for me, extremely empowering, because you can see how much sharing experiences matters when we come to the Me Too campaign. And we've, of course, had the campaign in the European Parliament as well. And I think all of us vice presidents, we have been very much trying to see that we in this Parliament are taking all kinds of emanations of harassment, including sexual harassment, extremely seriously, and that we have the proper mechanisms in place. And this has been done very much due to the Parliament's strong resolution last autumn on the measures that also the Parliament must take. And this is something that I think we all are very much committed to. But I'd also like to say that this opportunity I see also to link with, let's say, the political work that is done across the parliamentary committees here, especially, of course, on the Women's Rights and Gender Equality Committee, but also in Development Committee, in International Trade Committee, and to link that work on the impact of gender in our policies and how we must understand to look at the world with our gender glasses. And gosh, it looks very different when we have the gender glasses on. Link that with the highest level of the administration of this Parliament. And it's, of course, very good and extremely welcome that President Tajani has promised to address this meeting, because that will show that we have a chance really to incorporate gender aspects into all our activities. And then, of course, to link with commissioners is really something that will be giving us the possibility to start looking at the gender aspects of our common policies very much. But I would also like to share with you one, it's not even an anecdote, but it comes from the same sphere as Evelyn's, the Legal Affairs Committee. When there was a reform of the General Court of the European Union, there was, of course, this question that because the member states could not agree on anything but doubling the number of judges. So what we said is that, okay, this may be justified, but let us decide all together, Commission, Council, the Court and the Parliament, that each member states, when they are nominating, appointing candidates for the Court, the General Court, that they will propose a man and a woman, and that the women's numbers in the Court have to be strongly going up, because it's really quite sinister to see that at the moment in the highest court of the European Union, we have only 7 female judges versus 33 male judges. In the General Court, 10 women to 37 men. This cannot go on. The legal professions also are very much becoming aware of the numbers of women coming from universities with legal professions, legal expertise, and this really has to be taken seriously. But I must say that I'm very disappointed, because we made a common declaration between the institutions that this is what we all want. And just a year later, we see that the Council is not taking this commitment very seriously. So we need to address this kind of issues. But I would like to add another aspect, which is that I'm a former Minister for International Development and a very active member of the Development Committee here in the Parliament. And there is no other single issue in my political agenda here than empowering women and girls, because we can see how much the rights of girls and women in this world are oppressed. Every day you read stories about women who cannot inherit, who cannot own, who cannot possess land, just because they are women. And this can be the site of the formal constitutional or legal arrangements. But the implementation is still in the hands of traditional leaders who often seem to neglect any idea that the woman must have equal rights. So worldwide we have a lot to do. This Parliament has been very actively pushing also for the EU to be actively filling in the gap that we have seen when President Trump introduced his very strong so-called Mexico City policy, global gag rule, which actually endangered health services for millions of women and girls. And at least we can say that the Parliament and the Commission have worked very well together on making sure that this will not go unnoticed and that we try to fill the gap as much as we can. So finally, I'd like to say that we still have to convince, I would say mainly our male colleagues, that gender quotas have been extremely successful also in the elected positions. And, well, I come from a country which has about 40% women in parliament without quotas. It's another story I could share you another time why this happened. But in most countries you have needed the quotas to make women visible, that they are there. There are competent women. It's just a question of seeing them. And I regret that we don't manage to put in place quotas in places where women are so underrepresented. And this is what we have to see that will happen in the near future. Also, with a view to the forthcoming European elections, we have to see that, again, we have to make sure that women candidates in the elections are empowered and that they get support from each other. And this kind of events, I'm sure, are very empowering also for women and girls who are looking forward, being active in political life. So it's excellent that we are here today. Let's say that this is a great launch in great numbers, as my colleagues have said, and we believe that this could become a turning point in the EU's gender life. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Yes, the question is, are we riding a third feminist wave? Indeed. Commissioner Bulc for Transport responsible.
Thank you very much, and thank you also for inviting me here today. It took me half a second to say yes, because it's really one of the more exciting events that is happening, and it's absolutely necessary for us to speak and to engage on the highest possible level to really make a difference. I would like to say that today is the first day of spring. So I hope that this will give us a real strong energy to really push for this topic throughout the year and beyond. But I would like to say at the beginning that I am proud of all of you who have been active in this field for so long already. Because when I travel around the world, there is no better place for a woman to be right now than in the European Union. And that is a result of a lot of work that's been done in the past already. But I fully agree that we are at the beginning of a new wave, and we need to really join our forces and get the whole transformation through. Yeah? So let me just bring your attention to one interesting thing. Take a look at the word woman. Woman. So it's already in this expression that kind of puts us into in a function of something else. So I think we will have to start paying attention to also expressions used, to the language, the way how we express things. And it does really start at that level, because in some sort of intuitive level, it speaks to us. And the language is the first way how we represent ourselves and how we express who we are and what we stand for. But let me bring you a little bit of figures. I'm an engineer by profession, so I am very much in favor of facts. So there's been a big change in the Commission, under this Commission. And when President Juncker really asked everyone to make a change, we can see in 3 years' time a difference, which is such an encouraging message, because in 3 years only we can make a difference. And let me tell you the figures. At the beginning of this Commission, only 11% of Director Generals and Deputy Directors were women. Today we are 36%. And Commission target is 40, and I'm quite confident that we will achieve it before the end of the mandate. Let me also share about the DG Move. In DG Move, which is the Transport Directorate, only 20% of senior management were women. But today, we have made all the changes necessary, and we have 42.8%. And that's only in 3 years' time. Actually, in one shift, in one opportunity, when we had the different things to change, the opportunity to change. I have a challenge on middle management. Yeah? It's true that DG Move was quite good in the middle management with 35% already being present. But in these 3 years, we made only an improvement of 30 to 39. So, but there is a little good news in it, that we made sure that the first level people were promoted, that were women, that they can take in the next round middle management positions because of the rules that apply to everyone. In my cabinet, out of 21 people, which include 2 drivers and trainees, we have 57% of women and 43% of men in the cabinet. In the cabinet members only, it's 55% men and 44% women. In administration, we have 80% women and 20% men. And believe me, I'm really trying to employ male assistants, but it's really hard to find them. So the last 2 that we appointed are men. So I hope we're going to be able to bring the balance to that too. How's the situation in transport itself? Only 22% of transport workers are women. In land transport, 14% only. Air transportation, 40%. But if I take a look at the pilots, only 5%. Waterborne transports, which is inland waterways and maritime, 20%. So there is a lot of work that we can still do, and we're doing it. And I would like to really bring your attention to a couple of concrete activities, and I do very much support you when you say that we need to really act. Yeah? We need to just do it. It is really important that we don't try to get an approval, we just do it, because it's the right thing to do. So we proposed the Women in Transport EU Platform for Change, which is up and active, and I'm glad that all EU institutions and most EU agencies and transport organizations were present at our launch, and our membership of this platform is growing. We have more and more good stories, so please come on board, use it, because we will use it further to encourage also in educational systems to share these stories, teachers, that they can tell the kids that they, and especially girls, that they can be pilots, that they can be truck drivers, that they can operate trains, and they can be really active also in this kind of professions, which were traditionally more assigned to male population. We also would like to point out that we are preparing as part of this platform, we also prepared a declaration to ensure equal opportunities for women and men in transport sector, and today we have already 70 signatures across transport modes that joined this declaration. Currently, we are working on a toolkit for primary and secondary schools, as I mentioned before, that we can transform all these good stories into a really good physical toolkit and digital toolkit that the teachers can use. But getting ready for this event today, I took a look also on the statistics of the country I know best, and it's 26 years of independent history. And believe me or not, there has been only one woman on a top position, considering presidents of the republic, prime ministers, or the speakers of the house. Only one, and that one lasted only a year and a half. So it is really important that we engage also on a political level. I keep inviting my colleagues, my women colleagues at home and here. I mean, women need to get engaged. Nobody else will take care of this if we don't do it ourselves. And I very much appreciate that we get support from our male colleagues, but we simply have to get in charge. So I'm really, really happy about this opportunity here today to speak with you, to share with you some of our stories, some of our facts, and clearly pointing out the gaps that need to be addressed. And I'm very carefully listening to all of you to see if I can use this in my own portfolio, but also in my own political life. So this Women's European Council is certainly coming at the perfect moment. Thank you very much.
Change in mood, cultural change as drivers for political change and structural changes is what I'm picking up now. If I might, just before we go to Commissioner Gabriel, also applaud the Director General for Personnel, who last year got more candidates, male candidates for being heads of units than female candidates, yet he managed to appoint more women head of unit than men. So keep it up. I'm sorry, Commissioner Gabriel, DG Connect, everything to do with digital.
Merci beaucoup. Tout d'abord, mesdames et messieurs, chers membres du Parlement, je voudrais remercier de m'avoir invité aujourd'hui et de dire d'emblée que je soutiens fermement cette initiative de nos trois coprésidentes. On ne pourrait qu'être fiers et heureuses d'être associés à cet événement. Ça nous a pris effectivement moins d'une seconde pour pouvoir dire oui, que nous sommes là. Et pour moi, c'est aussi une occasion de pouvoir partager avec vous quelques réflexions sur les femmes et les nouvelles technologies, parce que nous avons quelques chiffres très encourageants à l'intérieur de nos administrations, de notre directeur général, de nos directions générales. Mais moi, je me focaliserai davantage sur l'absence des femmes dans le domaine des nouvelles technologies, puisque nous avons publié il y a à peine 2 semaines notre étude, qui est la première après 2013, et croyez-moi, les chiffres sont extrêmement alarmants. D'abord, tout simplement de dire, le futur de l'Europe sera numérique et nous ne pouvons pas nous permettre de ne pas inclure la moitié de sa population, parce que nous avons des chiffres qui montrent clairement quelle sera la valeur ajoutée de l'inclusion des femmes dans ce domaine numérique. Nous avons estimé que la participation des femmes, la pleine participation dans les emplois du numérique peuvent générer une augmentation annuelle du PIB de 16 milliards d'euros dans l'Union européenne par an. Nous avons aussi que les femmes peuvent sensiblement améliorer les produits et les services qui sont actuellement proposés. Pensons seulement aux jeux vidéo qui sont faits par des hommes, pour des hommes, qui véhiculent des images qui sont vraiment stéréotypées. Nous avons énormément à faire. Mais je voudrais commencer en citant quelques chiffres justement de cette étude que nous avons réalisée il y a à peine 2 semaines. Il y a 4 fois plus d'hommes que de femmes en Europe ayant fait des études liées aux technologies de l'information et de la communication. Plus inquiétant encore, le nombre de femmes dans l'enseignement supérieur lié au TIC est en baisse constante depuis 2011. Cette baisse se reflète dans la sous-représentation des femmes au niveau des entreprises dans ce secteur et dans le nombre de sociétés technologiques dirigées et fondées par des femmes. Les entrepreneurs en technologie ont 5 fois plus de chances d'être des hommes que des femmes. Dans certains endroits, ce rapport est plus proche de 100 contre 1. Le nombre de femmes entrepreneurs est près de la moitié de celui des hommes et seulement 19% des entrepreneurs en TIC en Europe sont des femmes. Donc, nous avons maintenant des chiffres qui sont extrêmement alarmants. Il est nécessaire de faire quelque chose. Comment renverser cette tendance? Nous le savons tous, il n'y a pas de solution miracle. Il faut une réponse multifacette. Il faut une réponse où toutes les parties qui peuvent y contribuer soient engagées et il faudrait qu'il y ait des actions à tous les niveaux. C'est pour cela que cette conférence elle est extrêmement importante parce qu'elle permet de maintenir le sujet vraiment au top de l'agenda européen et il est grand temps que les États membres et tous ceux qui peuvent y contribuer soient plus actifs. Je pense pour cela, au sein de la DG Connect, nous avons mis en place une stratégie qui visera justement de permettre plus de femmes dans le domaine numérique. Il sera axé sur 3 grands domaines. Le premier, il est nécessaire de mettre au défi les stéréotypes archaïques et les préjugés à l'égard des femmes qui persistent dans la société et au sein de l'économie numérique. Nous le savons tous, le choix d'une profession n'est jamais une trajectoire linéaire. Il y a tout un tas de facteurs qui entrent en jeu. Mais les médias ont leur mot à dire quand on façonne nos valeurs et nos croyances. Donc aujourd'hui, il est extrêmement important de voir que dans les médias soit promue l'image de la femme et pas l'image de la femme négative telle que nous la connaissons dans certains domaines. Les chiffres sont de nouveau alarmants. Les femmes ne représentent que 24% des personnes dans les médias traditionnels, 26% en ce qui concerne les tweets et les médias sur Internet. Donc, en plus de cela, nous voyons assez rarement des rôles positifs sur les technologies de l'information et de la communication et les femmes qui y sont liées. De plus en plus, il nous faut des femmes qui produisent des films, qui puissent permettre à ce qu'on voit dans les films cette diversité que nous chérissons tant au sein de l'Union européenne. C'est pour cela que je ferai, en me référant à la directive des médias audiovisuels, j'engagerai un dialogue avec les régulateurs nationaux et avec les industries pour faire en sorte que l'image de la femme soit promue. Nous avons des outils, nous avons des instruments très précis, tels le programme Média, et j'ai déjà prévu au moment du Festival de Cannes d'avoir une table ronde qui permettra vraiment de dire le programme Média est une de nos success stories incroyables. Il est temps que dans ce programme pour les femmes, il y a des programmes spécifiques qui visent à améliorer l'image de la femme et qui visent justement à permettre à toutes ces femmes dont nous connaissons le potentiel d'être tout simplement plus visibles. Je pense aussi qu'il y a une autre chose très concrète que je voudrais partager avec vous et je suis extrêmement contente que nous sommes ensemble avec Violette parce qu'elle était la première à la soutenir spontanément. Il y a 3 semaines, j'ai lancé une campagne, ça s'appelle No Women, No Panel. J'ai commencé en campagne en disant clairement qu'il n'est plus possible que pour moi, je refuserai de participer à toute conférence, à toute table ronde où je suis la seule femme à intervenir. Nous sommes 8 commissaires à l'avoir lancé. Violette a été de tout son cœur depuis le début. C'est une campagne qui rencontre vraiment un soutien extraordinaire sur les réseaux sociaux. Il y a de plus en plus d'organisations qui se joignent. Je remercierai vraiment chacun, notamment lorsqu'on se trouve à des positions où il y a une prise de décision, où nous pouvons donner le temps de pouvoir vraiment adresser ce message. Parce que cela fait tellement longtemps qu'on n'a pas pensé aux femmes qu'on n'y pense même plus. Elles sont là chaque semaine. Je rencontre une femme experte, une femme leader, une femme chef d'entreprise. Je ne les retrouve pas dans les conférences où il faut justement faire valoir cette expertise. D'autant plus que nous avons de nouveau des chiffres. Notre dernière étude montre par exemple que les femmes chefs de start-up en Europe montrent 63% de résultats plus positifs que les chefs d'entreprise des start-up qui sont des hommes. Deuxième axe dans cette stratégie, nous ne pouvons pas omettre vraiment les compétences et l'éducation. C'est extrêmement difficile, mais nous avons ici des choses à faire pour attirer les femmes vers le STEM et le STEAM. Les maths, ce n'est pas ennuyeux. Le coding, ce n'est pas quelque chose qui n'ouvre pas de perspectives. Ici, je fais référence à un plan d'action extrêmement précis. C'est le plan d'action pour l'éducation numérique que nous avons publié ensemble avec le commissaire Navracic. Nous voulons vraiment engager davantage de filles dans les nouvelles technologies et pour cela, il y a des instruments précis qui sont prévus dans son plan d'action. Nous comptons sur les États membres pour qu'ils puissent les rendre opérationnels. De même, j'attire l'attention sur une autre initiative symbolique de la Commission européenne, c'est le Code Week, la semaine du code. Chaque année, en octobre, grâce à des bénévoles, nous montrons qu'est-ce que c'est le coding, qu'est-ce qui se cache derrière l'écran de l'Internet. Je suis particulièrement fière avec les résultats, y compris de la dernière année, en 2017. Nous avons eu plus de 1,2 million de participants, 46% étaient des filles. Donc ça montre qu'il y a de l'intérêt. Il faut ensuite maintenir cet intérêt pour leur permettre de s'engager justement dans des carrières. Et enfin, un troisième axe de cette stratégie, c'est de comment encourager l'entrepreneuriat numérique et l'innovation. C'est de plus en plus important d'avoir des femmes spécialistes en ICT. Nous sommes en manque vraiment terrifiant. En ce moment, il nous manque 350 000 spécialistes IT. Ils vont être 500 000 en 2020. Donc il est important aujourd'hui d'engager davantage de filles dans ces filières. Encore quand on touche à des domaines qui prennent de plus en plus de l'importance, et j'attire ici l'attention sur la cybersécurité. Nous savons combien c'est important, les cyberattaques ne connaissent pas de frontières. Cela ne concerne pas seulement nos données personnelles, c'est notre système de transport, c'est notre système d'énergie. Ce sont des domaines vitaux pour nous tous. Nous sommes en manque d'experts. Or, nous avons des exemples dans lesquels les femmes sont extrêmement compétentes, extrêmement innovantes. Donc voilà, je voulais juste partager avec vous quels sont les trois axes. Je serais ravie de pouvoir voir un soutien et de remettre le sujet constamment à l'ordre du jour. Mais je voudrais encore une fois dire que je suis convaincue que ce n'est qu'en agissant ensemble que nous pouvons faire la différence. Et je reviens au message du tout début de mon intervention. La réponse n'est pas unique, elle est multipartite, elle est multifacette, mais c'est seulement ensemble, hommes et femmes, qu'on pourrait faire en sorte que ce sujet, ce n'est pas seulement à l'agenda, mais qu'il soit suivi d'actions concrètes. Il est grand temps que les filles, les femmes soient davantage incluses, y compris dans certains processus tels que la transformation digitale. Nous ne pouvons pas nous permettre d'avoir une Europe qui, dans son futur, ne comptera pas sur les idées, l'innovation, la création des femmes, chose que jamais les machines ne pourront remplacer. Merci beaucoup.
Change, that's the word. But change in culture, in education, in politics, in economics. It's a huge task, and I think we're very happy that you are now taking this on to you, and you make this firm commitment for now and the future to work on this. To this end, also, you have committed to put your signature under conclusions, a manifesto, shall we say, to continue this and keep it up. And I would like to then interrupt, because Commissioner Bulc needs to leave now, interrupt this for a little bit for the signatures, which might also be a nice photo op if there's any photographers left. After this, we will open the floor. You can see that there is a lot to do. And I think we were all very interested in hearing your ideas about how that can be done concretely. The Women's European Council will continue its work all the time, at least twice a year. It will come together and give concrete proposals to the Council of mostly male government leaders meeting the day after. They will look at the agenda for that European Council and put their proposals forward in that sense. So it's important to stay in touch and to create a community. We are also very, very pleased to see that there are other MEPs, other members, and even Mr. Papadimoulis, who have come here to support this initiative. So I would like to ask them to also say very briefly why they think it's important to be here. Now, I understand that one of you needed to leave very early. No, that's not the case. Shall we start with the birthday boy?
Thank you very much. I fully support that initiative because I think that achieving equality is not only a matter of rules, but mainly is a matter of culture, changing culture. If we see the numbers in the Parliament, we could see a kind of progress comparing with the situation 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But if we see the same numbers according to our goals, we are far behind. We are closer to our goals when we are speaking about the head of units. But we are far away from our goals when we see the general directors. And I see also Mrs. Francesca Ratti, who was, until some months ago, the Deputy Secretary General of the Parliament, a very strong woman in our administration and very successful. One year ago, in 2017, I authored a report which was unanimously adopted from the Bureau, setting new goals, more ambitious, until the end of our mandate. And I'm fully committed pushing the administration to achieve that goals. But I think that it is important to keep fighting on that. And your power is very important. You started creating an alliance. And I think that that alliance, including some of more open-minded men, could change things. And I think that it is important for the European Parliament not only to vote for very progressive and ambitious targets in our resolutions. It is important to implement the equality in our daily life, not only in the level of the administration, but also in the level of the political groups, in the presentation and the gender balance in the committees and so on. And on that, we have, for example, in the committees, 50% women, but if we see the president of the political groups, we have only one. So there is a lot of work to be done, and as responsible for that portfolio of gender equality, I'm fully committed to support that effort continuously and in very good cooperation with your alliance and with the FAM committee. Thank you very much.
Next up, Ms. Corazza-Bildt, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you so much. I really would like also to join the congratulations, the welcoming of this initiative, and I'm very, very happy to be here at the inaugural meeting. Let me say that for me, we work with many of my colleagues every day to empower women in Europe, outside of Europe, to increase representation of women in decision-making, to promote equality between men and women in general. For me, the most important, the mother of all the problem is violence against women. As long as women are beaten up, killed, and harassed, and there is impunity for that, then it's really no other gender equality fight is as important as that. And I would like to pay tribute to our dear colleague Elisabeth Morin-Chartier, who does a fantastic work in this parliament and put really the protection of all of us from harassment as a very, very, very seriously with giving also credibility to the European Parliament. So I would like to have a very concrete proposal today, as it's so important that we work together. We have such a strong support at the highest level in the European Parliament, in the Commission. Dear Maria, your initiative on the Women of Panel is absolutely great. I've been supporting it a lot, as you know, and with the Council. So as this is the Women's European Council, ahead of the European Council, I would like to ask you all to have a call of action to the President of the European Parliament to put in his speech at the European Council and online of the debate we had last week in plenary on the Istanbul Convention, where we have together, cross-political group, appealed to the Bulgarian presidency to put on the agenda of the European Council and keep it there as long as it takes for the 11 member states who have not yet ratified the convention and all the others who have ratified but not fully implemented, to engage in a constructive dialogue, to look at the issues that are resistance, opposition, misunderstandings. And I think this is really the time, because in Parliament we have done everything we could, in very close cooperation with the Council of Europe. We were meeting them in Strasbourg last week again. And I would like to say that we got the top support from President Tajani, who decided to take this as the subject for his speech on the occasion of the 8th of March. And he made a speech which I would invite every one of you to look at the video, which was really a very, very clear message that this European Parliament take a strong stand to work together with the other institutions for the ratification of the Istanbul Convention. Can you please take this appeal, this call of action to the Council, and let's continue really to join forces for zero tolerance of violence against women, because really all women in Europe and outside of Europe have the right to be free from violence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Corazza-Bildt. Ms. Woutmans also wanted to say a word.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a real pleasure of being here today, because I think we all the women and men in the room here, we feel really the vibes, and I think that's something we really need in politics. You need to feel the vibe to change the world, and sometimes I think when we feel this and when we're meeting here, I think we still have a lot of work to do. I heard a lot of conversations today, a lot of stories. I think we still need work to do on the political side. Like you mentioned yourself, we still see that women don't get through. We really have to fight for that. But also, for example, take a look at when the plenary session put the women's affairs on the agenda. I have the impression it's always late at night. It's always late at night when we have to discuss women's rights. Why can't it be at 9 o'clock in the morning instead of at 10 o'clock in the night? So please do so. I really have that impression. Late at night, it's only women who be there. I don't know where the men are at that point. Secondly, at the restaurant maybe, yeah, I don't know. Secondly, that's the political side, the representation, but also when do we discuss the topics. Secondly, we have to fight on the economic side. We have to fight, like my colleague said, the violence against women. That's really a fight we need to fight together. And so I think we can continue to nominate things we have to fight for. But I think the most important thing is what's happening here today. We have to continue to come together, to hold hands, to keep strong together and say to the men, hey, you have to watch us. We will do it. And I know that, I don't know who told this, I have the impression that women also always have to be twice as good as men to achieve the same thing. Well, it is so, but I must tell you, luckily, this is not so difficult to show it. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Costa, please.
I'm very glad to be here. I'm very happy for this decision about this European Council for Women, because also for the statement and the commitment that you are signing. And so I thank Vice Presidents and Commissioners and my colleague MEPs, because it's very important also some of this commitment. For instance, to have this dedicated meeting before Council, to devote to the marches that we are engaging in the Council, and to hear also our voice on this. You know that in any committee we are, also me personally, engaged already together with the FAM committee to have this mainstreaming approach to any matters that we have in any committee. But our voice sometimes doesn't reach also the high level of decision, and so it's very important this cooperation at a different level. I am personally convinced that woman is not a weak subject. Woman is a strong subject, but put too much in weakness, in weak conditions and weak situation. And so the problem is not to substitute the values, the personality, the strength, or ignore it. The richness of the personality of women around the world, but to help women to overcome this obstacle, to create conditions to be strong. That's the approach that I personally have on this, because we have also to give a positive message to women. I am personally very convinced that I met so many women in my life, I imagine also here and also in your life, in different age, in different parts of my life, that are not weak person, but sometimes ignored in their personality, with discrimination, with some violence. And so this is the approach that we have to, for me, to have in this case. Also because the young generation of women don't love so much to be represented as weak. And they sometimes don't feel and perceive themselves so, and sometimes they are alone in front of the difficulties. And so we have to combine this approach, the diversity of the situation. The second, just to point out a problem that is also raised up before by Maria Gabriel, I totally agree. We have this common commitment on education and culture. We sometimes don't mention culture. The cultural dimension and the education dimension of the grow-up of a person is the first prevention of any form of weakness, but also passive aptitude, and also of not autostima, I don't know, self-esteem. And so I imagine that we have to dedicate more address and more attention on the rule of investing in education and in culture. This is the Cultural Heritage Year. So many women are in this field, education and culture, but not with the power and the recognition their role that we pretend. And so we have to combine better this situation. Is apparently a contradiction. The last word is for some women that are not here. But we represent also these women, migrants women, refugees women, women in Syria. I would like that we are more generous to understand that this council, as we normally are, and also as is important message that we have to say, we are also, we want to be also champion of solidarity among women. And we have so many situations, not only violence, I absolutely agree with the Convention of Istanbul, but also with, you know, that the face in Europe and out of Europe of poverty is a women face, of child face. And so I imagine that we have to cooperate also for these women, sometimes without voice. Thank you.
Ms. Childers, did you want to say a word?
Yes, thank you. I think this is a really, really important event, and I guess I've been in politics for a number of years, and I'm 61 years of age at this point, and probably going to exit it completely next year. So it's interesting to see how things are changing. But you know, we can't be complacent, because it's about attitude, and things may be changing, but they're always in danger of regressing and going backwards. And we need to look closer to home inside the European Parliament. Somebody's already mentioned it. The President of the European Parliament, the heads of the EPP, the Socialist Group, the ALDE Group and the ECR Group are all men. Only the Greens and GUE have female chairs. We had an opportunity to change this earlier than usual in the Socialist Group yesterday, and we didn't take it. I have to say that is a disappointment for me. There are all kinds of reasons why that happened. But, you know, someone once said, when people don't want to do things, their reasons are always superb. So, you can list all the reasons, and I still find it disappointing. There's another risk that we have come so far, women have, in every way in the last decades, that some sexist and misogynistic attitudes can be driven underground when the culture on the surface no longer supports them. And that is a problem too, and we can see this in the misogynistic attitudes that were exposed during the Me Too harassment campaign or anti-harassment campaign. So in that way, I think culture in every respect is important. And as somebody said, let's not forget to the women other than ourselves, the ethnic minority women, the refugees, all the women that if we have problems, they have multiple problems, and we can't forget them in any area of our work in here, public health, which I work in, culture, everything else. We have to think about those women because we represent them too. We're politicians, we're MEPs, we represent, some of us, thousands of people, perhaps millions. So that's all I'd like to say. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you. Let me express some admiration as well. There are two Directors General here who made it, in spite of everything, to the top. Francesca, can I come back to you? No, I know. Can I come back to you a little bit afterwards? Yeah, are you fine with that? Okay. Francesca, she's already been mentioned, is the only woman who ever made it to Deputy Secretary General. So.
Bon, merci beaucoup, merci pour l'accueil chaleureux. Je dois dire, je ne reviens pas très souvent au Parlement, comme tout acteur qui ne revient jamais sur les lieux du crime. Mais je suis très fière d'être ici pour une occasion pareille. Je voudrais remercier les vice-présidentes et tous les députés ici présents, M. Papadimoulis, qui m'a rappelé à un passé tout récent avec affection. Mais je voudrais aussi remercier toutes les jeunes femmes qui composent EWA. L'idée est venue de Alessia, qui est ici. Elle a été capable de recueillir beaucoup de femmes autour, et aujourd'hui, elle a le soutien et le support politique des 3 vice-présidentes, donc chapeau Alessia, chapeau Ewa, et le travail difficile, parce qu'il faut toujours concilier le extra-travail avec le travail normal, plus la famille, plus les enfants, plus les maris, les compagnons, etc., etc. Donc c'est un extra-travail qui vous fait honneur. Toutes les choses importantes ont été dites. Une expérience de l'administration du Parlement. Soyons très honnêtes entre nous. La force vitale qui a caractérisé les années 90, début 2000, s'est perdue. Elle n'est plus là. Et les progrès qu'on avait accomplis, en termes aussi, comme disait M. Papadimoulis, de goals à atteindre, ont changé. Les goals n'ont pas été atteints. Vous savez, quand j'étais directeur général, je faisais une bataille contre la séparation fonction-carrière. Mais j'étais fort attaquée par ça. Pourquoi ça a pénalisé les femmes? Parce que, comme disait justement Madame Ebert, Madame McGuinness, Madame Hautala, quand on a la possibilité d'avoir un poste de dirigeance et de responsabilité entre 30 et 40 ans, c'est justement la période où la plupart des femmes ont malheureusement la responsabilité. Heureusement, je le dis malheureusement parce qu'elles sont seules. Elles sont toujours seules. Elles sont seules à la maison, elles sont seules sur le poste de travail. Et donc, elles ne se présentent pas. Parce que, bon, elles sont les plus sérieuses. Elles ne se vendent pas comme être capables de faire tout à n'importe quel moment et n'importe comment. Donc, elles disent, je ne peux pas garantir l'assumption de cette responsabilité. Qu'est-ce qu'on a inventé au Parlement? Une formation, parce que les femmes ont besoin d'être formées pour postuler au poste de chef d'unité. Moi, franchement, je trouve ça honteux. Je l'ai toujours dit, Et je le dis même aujourd'hui que je suis dehors, je le dis avec plus de force, parce que vu en plus, et je m'excuse avec les présents hommes ici, je vous assure qu'il y a plein d'hommes qui devraient faire de la formation avant de postuler pour un poste de chef d'unité. Une dernière chose, toute la bataille de gendre a fait un halte, un arrêt impressionnant. Le nombre de représentantes au Parlement européen a diminué. Et franchement, même les femmes ont peur de mettre ce thème à la table parce qu'elles ont peur d'en payer un prix. C'est un thème secondaire et dérangeant. Et ça explique aussi la reprise de la violence contre les femmes. Les choses sont liées. Vu que le problème est secondaire, on peut faire tout ce qu'on veut. Et c'est scandaleux, comme disait Madame Corazza-Bildt. C'est horrible ce qui se passe. Il y a un féminicide par semaine en Italie. C'est affreux. Donc, il faut reprendre, il faut que de jeunes femmes soient, il faut se refuser d'être dans des panels où il n'y a pas de femmes, et je suis sûre que ce Parlement et l'Europe, qui ont été toujours en première ligne dans cette bataille, doivent reprendre les flambeaux et faire en sorte que les élections de 2019 soient un triomphe des femmes, non seulement comme votantes, mais aussi comme élues. Merci.
Francesca took a couple of words out of my mouth because I wanted to applaud indeed Alessia and the others who have worked very hard to organize this entire event. And I would like to ask Alessia to say what she has now, thinks she has achieved and still needs to be achieved.
Many things still, but this is indeed the reason why we are here today. First of all, let me thank the Vice Presidents, Mary McGuinness, Evelyn Gebhardt, Heidi Hautala, and the Commissioner, also the Commissioner who are not here today, but that gave us their support. When we founded European Women Alliance, we was very clear our commitment, turning the male-dominating model in a fair model for all. And our objective, the objective that we have, that we want to pursue with our association, it's not just bringing few women to breaking the glass ceiling, neither organizing conference for women leaders. Instead, we want to improve the life of ordinary women that every day are paid less than a man for the same job, that every day have to juggle between their responsibility with, providing also care job without any reward. And also, we have also to point out that everybody expects from them that we carried out this family work. And we want to improve, the life of women that every day have to choose between having a career or become mothers. So I think that it's up to us to change a society where women are every day raised, abused, raped, killed. That's unfortunately happened too often in my country, in Italy. And we have to change this model because until now no action has been taken to fix this problem that arises by social inequalities and abuse of power. This has to be clear because it's not about I don't share the point of view that put women like human beings that own to another planet. Women and men, we are equal. And if there are some inequalities, it depends on, imbalanced structure of society and abuse of power by men. When we decided to create Women's European Council, our idea was to contribute to the European Council debate by put forward a new vision of Europe and to try to carry out courageous action by women. Our goal is to reinvent, to propose a new economic model, to change the structure of society, where the women are relegated to the care job, and the society is built on the male model, when the men are, have to provide revenue, have to provide income. We believe that the European Union is the only public actor that is able to provide a response to national and global challenges. But in the same time, we are witnessing the rise of movement that put at risk both European integration and women's rights. So we cannot we have to put our attention always at a high level, because no rights are always achieved, and we have to keep our space. We cannot take our space for granted. We believe also that women empowerment is a precondition for sustainable growth and for a better Europe. That's why we try to put in place, and we succeed on this Women's European Council, because we think that we have to address the political issues discussed in the European Council with another perspective. And we believe that women can be the starters of a new European movement based on the recognition of inequalities and providing a new vision of social structure and a new economic model. Tomorrow, the European Council will discuss, among other issues, European semester, digital single market, the priorities of the single market, and the implementation of social pillar. All those policies are crucial for us as women. That's why we have our idea, our common vision to address these policies and to fix gender imbalance. I think that the purpose of Women's European Council should be really this. Establishing a permanent and solid pre-summit organized and carried out by women in order to participate to the European debate, because I really had a lot of fun by creating a video clip in which I underlined the fact that in the European Council we have 25 men and only 3 women, and this cannot be accepted. Another thing that I would like to point out is the fact that we are living an historical moment in which technologies has not only the meaning of progress, but also the meaning of anthropological change. Big data, automation, intelligence, artificial intelligence have changed the system of production, and we have to recognize this, and we have to change the structure of the society. I repeat, because this is very important. Welcome, Mr. President.
We'll interrupt Alessia's very powerful and passionate speech for a minute to ask the President of the European Parliament, who has now taken seat, as a token of support. A token of support to this Women's European Council. Mr. President.
Thank you very much for coming. I want to congratulate with you the commissioners, Violeta and Maria, and by our Vice President, Mrs. McGuinness, Mrs. Gephardt and Mrs. Autola, for your strong engagement in this sector. I think this is a very important initiative for the Parliament. We need more women engaged in every different sector. Les chiffres de ces dernières années sont peut-être encourageants. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, 2036, 2037, 2038, 2039, 2040, 2041, 2042, 2043, 2044, 2045, 2046, 2047, 2048, 2049, 2050, 2051, 2052, 2053, 2054, 2055, 2056, 2057, 2058, 2059, 2060, 2061, 2062, 2063, 2064, 2065, 2066, 2067, 2068, 2069, 2070, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2079, 2080, 2081, 2082, 2083, 2084, 2085, 2086, 2087, 2088, 2089, 2090, 2091, 2092, 2093, 2094, 2095, 2096, 2097, 2098, 2099, 2000, 2001, 2002, 20 L'émancipation des femmes en Europe a certes progressé comme jamais depuis 2005. Mais nous pouvons faire mieux. Nous devons faire mieux. Au Parlement européen, le cœur de la démocratie européenne, nous avons la chance d'avoir des membres actifs et engagés. Je suis personnellement fier d'être le président d'une institution qui, chaque jour, fait entendre sa voix sur les droits des femmes. Pour autant, dans beaucoup d'États membres, une surreprésentation des hommes au poste de pouvoir persiste. C'est vrai en politique, c'est aussi vrai dans la sphère économique. Je me rappelle que quand j'étais commissaire, ma collègue Viviane Reding a présenté un texte qui proposait d'avoir plus de femmes dans les conseils d'administration. Moi, j'étais le deuxième, après elle, à signer la proposition, parce que dans mon pays, il y a une loi qui oblige à avoir des femmes. C'est une députée qui a, en 2012-11, fait cette proposition, c'est Madame Nella Golfo qui a proposé, elle a signé plusieurs articles avec Madame Reding, qui était ancien commissaire, vice-présidente de la Commission, maintenant est députée au Parlement européen luxembourgeoise. Mais malheureusement, pas tout le monde était favorable à cette idée, mais il faut aller de l'avant. Pourquoi? Des études récentes ont démontré que la mise à l'écart des femmes des rôles économiques coûtera dans les 10 prochaines années 11 500 milliards d'euros au niveau mondial, c'est-à-dire le PIB du Japon, de l'Allemagne et du Royaume-Uni ensemble, à cause de l'absence des femmes dans la vie de la guide économique. Quelques chiffres. Seulement les 24% des managers au niveau mondial sont des femmes. Et parmi elles, à peine 4,6 sont directrices générales. Il est encore plus frappant dans l'économie numérique. Il faut soutenir la présence des femmes dans ce secteur et je sais pouvoir compter sur l'énergie et la détermination de la commissaire Maria Gabriel, dont je tiens à saluer et soutenir l'initiative No Woman, No Panel. Si nous voulons créer plus d'emplois en Europe, nous avons besoin de plus de femmes en politique, dans les affaires, dans la recherche, dans la transformation numérique. C'est pourquoi l'établissement d'un Conseil européen des femmes est indispensable. Notre Union a besoin de continuer le combat sur l'égalité entre femmes et hommes. En tant que président du Parlement européen, je m'engage à soutenir les propositions de ce Conseil et j'en ferai part lors des réunions du Conseil européen. La bataille engagée par tant de générations de femmes courageuses est loin d'être gagnée. Mais il ne s'agit pas uniquement d'une bataille des femmes pour les femmes. Elle doit être menée partout, en faisant front chaque jour pour l'humanité toute entière. C'est-à-dire, sont aussi les hommes qui ont besoin, dans leur travail, des femmes engagées, des femmes capables, aussi à niveau d'éducation et de formation. Il faut aider les femmes. Je cite quelques exemples en conclusion. Dans ce qui se passe dans mon pays, quand il y a des concours publics, ceux qui gagnent sont presque toujours des femmes. C'est-à-dire, s'il y a 200 postes, on a au moins 140, 150 femmes. Et les premiers sont toujours des femmes. J'étais en visite un site à Pozzallo il y a quelques mois où il arrive les immigrés et j'étais avec la Guardia di Finanza qui est la police de la mer qui est aussi engagée avec le Parlement européen. Eux, ils travaillent beaucoup avec Mme Gessler pour le contrôle du budget. Ils m'ont dit qu'à l'Académie militaire des Guardia di Finanza, chaque année, la plus capable, l'officier le plus capable est toujours une femme. Donc voilà, aussi parmi les militaires. Regardez ce que ça veut dire. Sous-estimer l'importance de la capacité des femmes comme personne, parce qu'il ne faut pas, moi je viens d'une famille où ma mère travaillait, ma grand-mère travaillait, ma femme travaillait, donc c'est pas pour moi n'existe pas un problème entre hommes et femmes. Mais perdre pour l'humanité des capacités, c'est une faute incroyable. À cause d'une mentalité du Moyen Âge, je ne sais pas si on n'est pas supérieur si on oblige quelqu'un à les pousser sous la table. On est vraiment supérieur si on comprend certaines fois qu'il y a quelqu'une qui est mieux que toi. Alors tu comprends vraiment que tu es un homme intelligent. On ne peut pas bloquer l'intelligence, on ne peut pas bloquer les capacités. Nous avons besoin de toutes capacités, des femmes et des hommes, ensemble, pour le bien-être du monde, pour le bien-être de nos familles, pour le bien-être de nos concitoyens. Voilà pourquoi vous pouvez compter sur moi, pas seulement aujourd'hui, c'est une occasion officielle, aussi en occasion de chaque décision que vous prendrez pour le bien de l'Europe, pour le bien des femmes et des hommes. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think this was a very important commitment, and I'm sure that the members of the Women's European Council are going to keep you to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Alessia has one little thing more to say, and I'm sure we're all interested. And then I think we will close this session, which has been really, really important. Alessia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. J'ai été interrompue par Monsieur le Président, mais justement, il est président de cet Parlement et il a tous les droits de parler quand il arrive. Je voudrais seulement souligner que les femmes n'ont pas besoin d'être aidées, mais plutôt il faut éradiquer, comme dire, tout ce qui est contraire à notre développement, que c'est tout à fait autre chose. Par rapport à ça... Par rapport à ça, je voulais seulement ajouter ce que j'étais en train de dire, c'est-à-dire que nous vivons un moment historique où la technologie, c'est pas seulement, comme dire, les significances, ouais, je pense, les significats du progrès, mais c'est plutôt un changement anthropologique. Donc, il faut tenir compte de tout ça pour construire vraiment un modèle social